EntrepRadio online. EntrepRadio online. EntrepRadio online.
Hear the voices of greatness on the World Wide Web. VG8 Radio, the voices of greatness.
Hello, what's up, guys? What's up, slaves, and every person who likes Pokemon? Have you been good? Are you doing well? I'm about to tell you something cool, something very nice to woo. Do you wanna hear Flareon talk? Do you wanna see Eevee ooh? Can't see, I can't find animation. Where is Interest Studio? It's Friday again, what's up, Flareon? On Mondays I seem to can't carry on. You're the cutest of all Pokemon. That animation where
Narito na ang inyong bagong magiging Sunday afternoon habit sa VG8 Radio. 2 oras ng inspiration, motivation at empowerment sa makabagong paaralan ng buhay sa online world.
EntrepRadio online.
Invest early in life and be an entrepreneur. Ito ang susi sa inyong tagumpay. Matuto ng mga tips, techniques at best practices sa pagsisimula ng negosyo.
EntrepRadio online.
Magandang hapon mga ka-Entreps! Narito na ang programa para sa makabagong Filipino entrepreneur. Makakasama niyo kami tuwing Linggo, 2:00 hanggang 4:00 ng hapon para sa usapang punong-puno ng kaalaman sa pagsisimula ng inyong pangkabuhayan. We are broadcasting live from the VG8 Radio Facebook page, the EntrepRadio Facebook page, and the Entrep Media Network YouTube channel.
Right, partner. And alam mo, for 1 year na, partner, more than a year, we have been inspiring greatness, excellence, and success in every Filipino entrepreneur. Dahil dito sa EntrepRadio, may puso ang pagnenegosyo. Kaya Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, isang maganda at maaraw na hapon sa inyong lahat, mga ka-entreps. Hatid namin sa inyong 2 oras ng information, inspiration, motivation, at empowerment para sa ating makabagong Filipino entrepreneurs. Welcome guys to EntrepRadio Online, the voice of
The
Filipino
voice of Filipino
entrepreneur.
entrepreneurs.
Ayan. So nasabi kanina ni partner yung madami nating platforms. Ayan. But make sure to like and follow the EntrepRadio online page to see more informative content about entrepreneurship, which is made specially for Filipinos like us. Kaya ayan, like and follow na mga ka-entreps.
Yan, tayo eh. So partner, kamusta yung last week natin? Ano ba nang nangyari?
Last week, ano ba? Kasama natin si Doc. Ay, nako, it was such a privilege, no? We were with Doc Carl E. Balita. And alam naman natin, di ba, siya ang nagsimula ng mga gantong shows. Parang, I think he was one of the
Right, exactly.
pioneers ng mga radyo negosyo, si Doc Carl, di ba? That was, may mga shows na lumabas after that. And here we are, another one of those genre, EntrepRadio Online, di ba? So it was a privilege to be with him last week.
Oo, talagang ang saya din nun. So kung gusto nyo panoorin mga ka-entreps, so just visit our Facebook page, our YouTube page. Nandun po, that was Season 5, Episode 5 po. No? So panoorin nyo po, nandun yung kwento ng kanyang business, ng kanyang buhay, and how he got into, actually starting his business na talagang daming branches na ngayon. No? So Doc Carl, salamat po ulit.
Oo. And last week, partner, ano ba? Kamusta naman ang iyong week? Ay, balita ko, nakadalaw ka na sa CV.
Oo. After a year and kailan ba tayo last? No? More than a year na actually. No? So first time ko nakabisita sa Creative Voices Studios. No? So talagang masayang event yon. Sayang nga hindi ka nakarating, partner.
Oo nga. Pero next time. Oo. And actually, speaking of CV, yesterday was the first session yata of batch 10. But I think pwede pang humabol, no?
Oo. So, CVAP, no? The Certified Voice Artist Program Batch 10 is now ongoing. It started yesterday, November 6, no? And it will be up to November 20 every Saturday po yan, no? So if you're interested, just visit the Facebook page, Certified Voice Artist, or the website, certifiedvoiceartist.com, no, for more details.
Right. And also, partner, ano pa ba nangyari sa atin last week? Siyempre, may Google My Business pa rin tayo, di ba? It's a constant thing para sa mga entrepreneurs like our followers and viewers.
Mm-hmm. And yun nga, no? If you're interested also to learn how to use Google's very many tools, no, para sa mga negosyante, para sa mga ka-entreps natin, you can sign up for any of the classes at g.co/grow/MSME Caravan, no? So nandoon lahat ng mga modules na pwede nyo pasukan, how to use Google Apps, Google Ads, Google Workspace, yan, Google My Business, yan ang pinaka-entry mo talaga dapat, Google My Business, no? So, ongoing pa rin ang classes ngayon, no? So, just sign up and start to learn and how to shift your business to digital.
Mm-hmm. Kaya actually, partner, tinatype ko ngayon yung link na meron tayo. Actually, EntrepRadio Online has a unique link that you can register mga ka-entreps. Oo. I will be sharing that in the comment section.
Okay. Yan. Maganda nga yan para at least it's a special link for mga ka-entreps natin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, habang ginagawa mo yan, partner, share na rin natin ano pa yung mga ibang shows natin dito sa Entrep Media Network, no? So, we have for our OFWs, no, mga kababayan natin na nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa, one of our programs is the Entrepreneur World, no? This is hosted by various voice artists, mga kaboses natin, all the way from Japan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Indonesia, the US, yan. And syempre meron din from the Philippines, no? So dito pinag-uusapan mga pangyayari sa abroad, no? How it affects businesses, paano nakapagtayo ng mga businesses, yung mga mga ka-entreps doon. No? And
And of
another
course,
show.
another show
Yeah.
that we have, partner, is Entrep Academy. It's every Friday at 7 p.m. Dito naman, specialized ito eh. Parang school talaga, kaya siya academy. Kasi parang every Friday, there is a different topic, a different industry that you can learn about. And the mga host natin, they are actually experts in these industries, in these fields. So,
Mhm.
ibig sabihin, hindi lang sila host, they can really impart something to you guys. So, that's every Friday at 7 p.m. You can learn about food industry, agriculture, meron pang fashion and beauty, favorite ko yan. So, syempre, meron tayong voice artistry. 'Di ba? Other
Mhm.
any field that you would want to try in your business, nandyan yan sa Entrep Academy.
Yun. Ang entrepreneur world pala pahabol na lang. Naka-season break lang sila ngayon, no? But they will be back. No? That's every Thursday naman sila at 9 p.m.
Mhm.
Tapos para sa ating mga millennials or sa mga bagong kumikita, mga
Oo.
entreps natin or just about anybody, no? Meron naman po tayo, moneytalk.ph. Ito medyo may integration to sa TikTok, no? So marami silang tips, marami mga techniques, no? How to handle your money, how to deal with debt, how to, etong last episode nila, no? Tungkol naman sa mga credit cards. Nandito naman yun din piniplay natin sa EntrepRadio Network, sa EntrepRadio Online. So mapapanood nyo siya dito rin sa page na to.
And even the Gen Z, no, partner, kasali dyan sa moneytalk.ph. So imagine a
Yes.
world kapag, alam mo yan, kapag medyo grew confidently na yung mga Gen Z, millennials, ganyan, and it's already their time to be business owners and all. Sobrang ganda siguro ng industry natin talaga.
At saka hindi na mahihiyang magtanong tungkol sa paano bang pag-handle ng pera or saan i-invest yung mga tipong ganyan.
Right.
So for our COVID update naman, quick lang, no? So that's 2.8 million total nationwide cases. Of course, tumataas yan. Pero ang recovery rate naman din natin ay tumataas as well. 97.2% na ang recovered, no? Out of the 2.8. So as of yesterday, ang nadagdag na cases is only from last week's 4,000. Now it's 2,656. So
Mm-hmm.
bumababa po ang cases na dagdag.
Right. And
So
maybe because of that, level 2 na tayo. Parang
yes,
cities are
exactly.
opening up, 'di ba? And social gatherings, nandun pa rin ang social gatherings, pero pwede nang magkaroon ng malaking gathering ngayon. So, but please be extra careful pa din.
Yan. Kaya tayo nakalabas na ulit and nakabisita sa Creative Voices
Congratulations.
dahil bumaba na. Nag-open up na ng konti.
Congratulations.
And that COVID update was brought to you by doh.gov.ph. Galing po sa website nila yan, sa COVID-19 tracker nila. And we would
Oo.
also like to greet our live viewers, no? Hello, good afternoon sa inyo. Happy Sunday. And syempre, dun sa mga nanonood ng replay, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. No? Sana marami kayong matutunan din sa ating episode today.
Oo, and syempre partner, yung mga ka-entreps natin na may sariling negosyo. You guys are very, very welcome to join us as, part of the interview para we can help to inspire other entrepreneurs like yung mga viewers natin, yung mga ka-entreps natin. They can learn about your milestones, your journey, and 'di ba? They can pick a bit about your lessons along the way. And syempre ma-inspire and motivate ang ating mga ka-entreps.
Yun ang doon para ma-inspire, ma-motivate, dagdagan ng lakas ng loob, no, para magsimula ng business nila sarili. And hello din po sa ating mga kaboses sa CVA, mga CVA family members and mga CVA gamers. Yan, no? Game on po tayo. Tuloy-tuloy lang ang ating pagboboses.
Yes, and syempre, welcome to Batch 10. Diba? Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family as well.
Oo. And lastly, partner, I would like to do a shout out to the beautiful and creative, hardworking people behind Google My Business MSME Caravan. And syempre, ang mga facilitators na katulad natin. Ayan, nandiyan si Sir Winston, si Alfie, sino pa ba? Sino ba mga usual partners mo?
Sila Mac, yan, syempre si Sir Winston. Yan,
Sir
sigurado.
Choi.
And of course, si Sir Choi.
Mm.
Pwede ba natin makalimutan yan. So, ang dami natin po na nasa Google My Business, MSME Caravan yan. Okay, so moving on with the show. So mga ka-entreps, we encourage you to interact with us by asking your questions sa comment section. So type away lang mga ka-entreps and huwag po kayo mahiyang magtanong.
Oo. And partner, kunwari, I don't know if sunny ba outside your house right now or is it gloomy, but I'm very, very sure dito sa susunod na makakasama natin, your Sunday will be very radiant. Ayan. So let's
Very
call.
radiant.
Yes, let's call our Mr. Entropedia, Chase Levin.
EntrepRadio Online.
Hey, kumusta na mga ka-entreps? This is Mr. Entropedia. I am radiant apparently, as per Miss Faith, but I'm here to deliver a new set of informative and useful tips for our fellow entrepreneurs and our Entropedia. So do pay attention mga ka-entreps. Now, for those who do not know, Entropedia is a collection of information or data that is useful and helpful to the modern entrepreneur. O sa Tagalog, ito po ay koleksyon ng impormasyon o data na nakakatulong o kapaki-pakinabang sa mga makabagong negosyante. So ayan po ang ating Entropedia, mga entreps. Do take notes of our Entropedia tips to follow. We will be sharing them throughout this show habang nakikinig po tayo sa ating guest for today. Malalaman yan mamaya. So please stay with us until the end of the show. So moving on to our topic for our 3 tips. Okay, so for today, it's a franchise. So a franchising, it is a method of distributing products or services involving a franchisor who establishes the brand's trademark or trade name and a business system. A franchisee who pays a royalty and often an initial fee for the right to do business under the franchisor's name and system. Technically, the contract binding the two parties is the franchise, but that term more commonly refers to the actual business that the franchisee operates. Very technical. So why are we talking about this? Simple. Franchising is a tried and true way to expand your operations and grow your business. So for today's episode, Entropedia tips. For this episode's Entropedia tips, we will bring you 3 things to consider before franchising your business. Let's move on to our first Entropedia tip. Evaluate if your business is ready. So, the first question to ask if whether your business is suited to being franchised, beyond having a track record of sales and profitability at the existing business, there are several factors to consider. Considering your concept, which essentially means is your concept good enough? Good, because good franchise concepts offer something different, something familiar, but at the same time different. There's like a unique twist to it. And then there's another factor, which is check your finances. Is your business basically earning a profit? Next up is gathering market research, understanding your market, customers, and demand. Right, your demand. And next up is preparing for change, in which case you will be faced with bigger and heavier responsibilities, which usually rewards bigger opportunities to grow. And also, it is a big step forward for your business and so this is something that you must take into consideration and not something to take lightly. So do put your mind to this if you are planning to start your business. So that was our first tip. Evaluate if your business is ready. So let's move on to what I think about this tip is franchising is actually conglomeration, or rather it's a mix of all the tips that we've actually talked about before in regards to a small business. Because when it comes to a small business, it's just one business pretty much. You don't really have any other branches at the moment. It's just this one area that you're focusing on. And franchising is like a step up from it. The next step from home base, so to speak. And so what it does is what you have right now, if it's earning a profit, it's basically you're expanding this to another location to make another home base. So this is expanding your operations. So what this actually requires from you, like the tip mentioned, is it requires from you bigger investments. And with any investment, there is also bigger risks. But these two things, bigger investments, bigger risks, if you manage these properly, you are in a good position to actually receive bigger rewards. So with two home bases that earn a profit, you can actually expand further across wherever it is you work, and maybe even online. This is the kind of stuff that you need to consider before you franchise. But the risks are usually worth the wait if managed properly. And those are my thoughts for this tip, which is evaluate if your business is ready. We will be giving out 2 more tips throughout the show, so stay tuned, mga ka-Entreps, and I'll catch you all later for more EntrepRadio tips.
EntrepRadio Online.
Ako pala yung nawala. Okay, yun. Thank you very much, Mr. EntrepRadio.
Thank you, Chase.
So, that was
Oo,
our
maganda
first
yung mga tips ni
EntrepRadio tip.
Chase. No?
Oo.
Kasi
Talagang,
syempre,
kompletong-kompleto.
franchising is really a way to, duplicate and multiply your business while helping others, diba, to have their own business then.
Right. So especially kung nakikita nyo na uy, okay itong business ko. No? I think I can, I'm ready to franchise. Yeah. So itong tips natin for today will deal with that. How will you know when you are ready? No? So syempre pag naka-franchise, kailangan may mga documentation. In any case, mamaya maririnig natin yung iba pang tips niyan. So yun. Partner.
Oo, this time, partner, it's time to introduce naman our guest for today. So kung last week meron tayong Dr. Carl Balita, grabe yung mga naging guest natin recently, no, na parang mentors na tong mga to eh. Parang it's really an honor to have them in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yun, so this time around, we have the president and founder of GMB Franchise Developers. So ano ba yung GMB? Pag-uusapan natin yan. Kasi parang hindi ko lang kung GMB ba, Google My Business ba yan? Or Gene ba yung GMB?
Maganda yung kwento yata nito, no?
Ayan. Tapos pag nalaman nyo actually yung pangalan, mapapaisip pa rin kayo, ano tong brand na to, diba? Pero yan, pag-uusapan natin yan, more about the company and of course, the founder and the president of this company. Ayan, si Sir Butz Bartolome.
EntrepRadio Online.
Entreps, let's all welcome Mr. Butz Olivares Bartolome.
Hey, kamusta? Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat at sa mga ka-entrep.
Good afternoon, Sir Butz.
Po.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
Sir
good
Butz.
afternoon.
Welcome to EntrepRadio Online.
So it's really a pleasure
Yeah.
to be part of the Entrep this program that you're having. And ang ganda, no? Because Sunday afternoon, it's a lazy day, but a lot of Entreps are watching this program. So congratulations. Sige.
Thank you, Sir Butz.
Thank you, sir. Sir Butz, bale, could you tell us something about yourself para dun sa mga ka-entreps natin na hindi pa kayo kilala, and maybe a little about what it is that you do?
Well, basically, I've been doing business for the last 31 years. No? Medyo matagal na, no? Kumbaga sabi nga nila, Jurassic na, no? So, but anyway, I started my business in 1993 after I opted for retirement from my overseas work. Kasi I was assigned to all the parts of Asia, Middle East as an assistant vice president for operations, of a multinational pizza chain. And then my role at that time was really to set up restaurants, pizza chains, to study the market, to train people. Um, Halos maganda because when you're young and you're given the perks, it gives you that kind of feeling na, wow, you can do it, you can do it. But meron din time na medyo nakakasawa because you keep on doing everything the same thing. But I always said that one feeling of learn and learn, and then later on, I'm sure I will be able to use it. And true enough, when after my stint in the Middle East, where the old Dubai was there, and then the Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, and then I started to think about myself, no? Because it reaches a point in your life na when you're getting a little bit older already, you start asking yourself, hanggang dito na lamang ba ang gagawin ko? Eto na lang ba ang gagawin ko? Eto ba hanggang pagtanda ko? And so I sought the advice of my former superior in Manila. And he told me, sabi niya, Butch, tama yan. Nangyayari yan sa buhay ng tao. Dumarating at dumarating yung punto na hanggang dito na lamang ba? And sabi niya, wag ko raw siyang gayahin kasi yun ang ginawa niya. Ang ginawa niya mula nung siya ay bata, pagka-graduate, ay nagtrabaho siya hanggang nag-retire. Sabi niya, maganda yung sa business card. Pero at the end of the day, when you retire, ano nangyari? Apostoles na lang raw siya. So, taga-alaga ng apo, taga-luto, taga-linis.
Apostoles.
Yung mga ganon. And so sabi niya, wag mo akong gayahin. Wag mo akong gayahin. You have to make a decision because you are now at a crossroad. Tama di ba? Crossroad Yung bang, where do you go? The left or the right? The easy road or the untraveled road? Maganda yung easy road because once you have the retirement money, LOI ka, living on interest. But that's not reality Ang reality is you have to start something where you are at this age na kaya mo pa. No? And you must enjoy it. Yun ang sabi niya. So, travel the uneasy road, the gravel road, not the cemented. No? And listen and watch out for the potholes. Those are challenges. And true enough, I opted for an optional retirement. Syempre, yung mga boss, alam mo naman, mga bossing, pag ganyan they lose one ace or one employee. Syempre, galit siya. Ayaw nila, no? Kasi mawalan sila. So sabi ko, I have to make my own living too. But I had a big mistake. Alam mo ba, Rene and Faith, I made the plan, and my plan was to start a restaurant when I reach Manila. And that's it. Plan A, period. No more, no less. Naku, Diyos ko, alam mo, pagdating ko sa Pilipinas, hindi ako makastart. Failure number 1. Naalala ko na naman yung sinabi ng boss ko, be ready for the pocket holes. Sabi ko, hindi yung pocket holes, moon holes. Hindi ako makapagsimula ng aking plano. And yet, come to think of it, ako ay, kumbaga, veterano na pag-set up ng restaurant, location, product, training, personnel, the works. Nung pala ay nagsisimula na, hindi ako makasimula. Bakit? Kasi I never thought of the circumstances I'll be meeting when I come back on my own. Iba yung empleyado, because you can just pirma ka lang ng pirma, okay lang, sige lang, pirma ka ng pirma. Performance evaluation, performance bonus, okay lang. But when you're on your own, ako, ito na pala yung mga unang mga dagok sa'yo. So, ayun, medyo masakit man aminin, but failure is a wake-up call. That's one lesson I learned, no? And I started to ponder until such time na na-feel mo ba yung savings mo ay pababa ng pababa ng pababa? Yung bang, oh my gosh, yung savings na pinagkahirap-hirapan mo na lalo na sa Middle East na humarap ka sa mga sandstorm, humarap ka sa sobrang init, pababa ng pababa. And you reach a point where you start to panic. And that's pothole number 2. Don't panic, I learned. Keep cool, chill. Okay? Keep cool lang, relax. Kasi nagpapanik na ako eh. Kumbaga yung malakas ang buhos ng expenses, maliit naman, halos walang pumapasok na income.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sino ba naman yung interest ng bangko? Aba, hindi
Mm.
naman maganda yun. So anyway, go back to plan B. I had to make an immediate plan B, in which I tell
Mhm.
people, no, plan B is something necessary. So I have to go back to my drawing board. I have to, I have to write. I have to see what my strengths are, what are my weakness, ano ba yung plano ko. And I think the other one is faith, no? That really, well, katamang-tama si Faith nandito, no? Pananampalataya, ano, yung faith, no? Kasi you don't want to panic, you don't want to be afraid, you don't want to say you have a responsibility already. Buti kung nag-iisa ka lang.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
you have to have that refocus, realignment of your goals. So yon, and there we were shown a way. Why don't you start a service where you can help people instead of you having restaurants? So I
Mhm.
started having consultancy, and the name is so fantastic. The name was Golden Morning Blessing Enterprises Incorporated. So sabi ko,
Golden morning
fantastic.
blessing.
Golden, yan na. Nagkaroon ako ng problema. Eto na naman. Dami talagang potholes, no? Kumbaga, ganyan ang buhay talaga, no? Walang patag na buhay. So yung potholes ko nako, tinawag pa ako ng SEC, Security Exchange Commission.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Kung ako daw ay foreigner. Sabi ko, ako po ay tunay na Pilipino, tapat at pinanganak sa Pilipinas. Dahil hindi raw ako itsurang Pilipino. Sabi ko, ano ba ho talaga ang Pilipino? Sabi niya, marunong ka talaga
Define nga.
magtagalog. Opo, marunong po ako magtagalog kasi po ako ay tubong Calamba, Laguna kung tatanungin niyo. But anyway, so na-approve. Naku, eto na naman. I was trying to promote my product, my service. Nung araw, wala pa itong mga internet na ito no? Mga seminar lang yan, mga dyaryo, mga kaibigan. Tuwing maiimbita naman ako, ang prating tanong sa akin ay, ano ho ba talagang negosyo nyo? Kayo ba yung papalit kay Mike Velarde? Sabi ko, bakit po? Sino po yun? Sabi niyo ho, kasi Golden Morning Blessing Enterprises Incorporated. Ang hirap, no? Halos kakapusing ka ng hininga bago mo matapos yun, no? So, sabi ko, ay hindi po. Kasi ho, morning blessing sabi ko, hindi po ako yon. Ang role ko, ayan, explain. And then yung isa namang, mayroon namang isang participant, sabi niya, sir, kayo pala yung may-ari ng tuwalya. Sabi ko, ha? Tuwalya?
Good morning, towel.
Good morning, towel.
Sabi ko, kayo may-ari ng Good Morning Towel. Ang pangit to ng tuwalya nyo. Sabi ko, ay, sorry ha. Hindi ko tuwalya yun. Yung tuwalyang nabibili, 5 piso ata yun.
Yung puti na may Chinese.
Nabubuta. Sabi ko, then I realized, eto na naman pala. Isang lesson na naman. I had to cut short to GMB. Yan.
Mhm.
So medyo, I had to go again to SEC. I had to ask for AKA, also known as. And I think those are the initial startup pinpoints, no, that you have to undergo. And then the other one is now promoting. Yan. Promoting. So I have no service. I have nothing to offer. My offer is as an advisor, as somebody who can help grow the business, looking at the way from a point of view of an outsider, how we can strategize the growth. And there I started having seminars, giving seminars, even barangays, and getting the word out about myself. Because I was really a fish out of the water. Talagang walang-wala. Wala akong, yung mga kaibigan ko nawala na, iba-iba. Wala akong connection. No? Wala akong yung mga kaibigan kong ganyan. But isa sa mga nakita ko ay, you just keep on pounding and pounding your service and tell people who you are. You build your credibility. So there I was invited even to talk in barangay. Alam mo yung mga acetates ng araw, siguro hindi nyo na alam yan, no? Acetates ng araw na
Sa
ang
projector.
kapal. Oo, yung may projector, yung overhead projector, no? Yun yung mga ginagamit ng mga speakers ng araw. So ako naman, ang dami kong dalang acetates. Naku, grabe yun. Biro mo, pag mag-showing ka, ganito, number 1. Nagkataon during the blackout days, no? Nagkaroon tayo ng power crisis noon. Nagtotalk ako sa isang barangay.
98.
Biglang nawala ang kuryente. So anong gagawin mo ngayon? Ang daming tao. There was about 300, no? Kasi libre nga yan eh. Libreng talk about negosyo, libreng talk about... you have to make it immediately think of a way. Kasi mainit sa hall. Nakakita ako ng malaking punong mangga. Sabi ko doon sa organizer, meron ka bang blackboard? Sir, meron tayo. Meron ka bang chalk? O yan. Sige, dala tayo ng bangkito. Doon tayo under the mango tree. Hala, nag-lecture ako. So, para sabi ko sarili ko, kung nung araw ako ay assistant vice president, I have a lot of assistants. Eto ako, nagsusulat under the mango tree. Talaga lang sayang eh. Wala lang nag-picture noon eh. Alam mo naman nung araw, mga camera nung araw eh, wala eh. No? But it is fun because, one of the things I derived that GMB became a byword. I had to tell people who I am. I have to cut short what I do, and I try to tell people what my specialization is, and which is franchising. No? So word of mouth is something that I am really banking on, and until now, word of mouth is what I'm doing. So ganon ang aking buhay, no? And from that time on, kumbaga nag-bloom na yung mga hard work. I had to do my articles. I have to submit articles to different newspapers, magazines like Entrep magazine. And then now, for the last 9.5 years now, I've been writing every Saturday in ABS-CBN, no, under the Business Mentor. So I don't own a restaurant. I don't own any service company except GMB. So to date, we have assisted more than about 800 entrepreneurs who are now name brands, no? And
Wow.
I'm so happy, I'm so blessed because hindi naman ako yon. I'm just part of the team. And these are not, before they are now unknown eh. In fact, they are unknown names. But that today they are known, no? I mean, worldwide. And I'm happy whenever people mention it, like, I get to meet people of different ages, different walks of life. So, yan ang buhay ko. I'm a teacher, I'm a mentor, and my work at times is sometimes as a counselor. Ano mo, minsan pag nag-aaway ang mag-asawa, minsan ikaw pa rin ang magpapacify sa dalawa kasi baka mamaya okay lang sila maghiwalay pero wag naman sana yung negosyo dahil kawawa naman yung mga nag-invest din. No? So, that's how my life is. And today, 31 years after, I can't complain because I feel like my business is still up there, growing and growing and growing. And really, one of the big blessings that I was able to write a book which won the Book of the Year award in 2012, unexpectedly. And we were given a special visa by the U.S. government to put up a U.S. office, which today we have an office in the U.S. in Los Angeles, because our aim is not really to migrate, but really to bring Filipino brands. So we have brands that are very well known now in the United States, and I'm so proud. No, so ganun lang ang buhay. Kaya nga sabi ng aking boss, wag ko raw siyang gayahin maging apostoles. So, eto naman ako, apostoles ng mga entrepreneurs.
Pero Sir Boots, sobrang ganda naman ng story mo. First question pa lang yan, ah.
Oo nga,
Di
first
ba?
question pa lang yan eh.
Sobrang ganda. Alam mo, parang, I mean, from the story na kinuwento ninyo, parang you can see the journey throughout. Parang
Mhm.
yung transition from, which is I am also passionate about, the transition from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. Kasi there's always this fear talaga to somehow let go of your constant salary, di ba? Parang there's
Yes.
always that
Your
fear.
comfort
But
zone.
you will definitely have an endpoint if you're an employee. Diba? There will definitely be an end point. So, I think yun nga, entrepreneurship is really the way to go. And you sharing that story is, alam mo, parang it's very inspirational, lalo na sa mga nanonood na nag-iisip pa, magkaya ko ba? Diba? Dapat ba? Which I think is dapat, diba? For all of the Filipinos. Ayun. So, sir, now that your company is quite big, diba? We have reached US as well. So, is it that did it become suddenly a family business? Do you have your family backing you up on this? Paano po yung naging role nila?
Oh yeah, this business is actually established with my wife, Linda, and
Mhm.
who joined me when after about 6 months when I was overseas. Alam mo, malungkot ang buhay ng overseas Filipino worker. A lot of people think that being an overseas Filipino worker or employee is so fun. No, it's not. It's challenging. It's a different adaptation to different cultures. Yung trabaho ko nga I rub elbows with different nationalities, no, races, and I have to play around. You have to know. Um, and so I asked her to resign from her. She is an officer in one of the non-government offices, no, and
Mhm.
she gave up her job just because to join me. So she was there all the way through my journey in the Middle East. She was my unofficial secretary. Uh, and when we came back to the Philippines, I had to ask her, I mean, when you make a decision kasi, especially pag nagde-discern ka na, you cannot make your own decision. You also have to echo something to your family. That's
Mhm.
dialogue, hindi dialogue, di ba? Yung mga ganon. Um, so that's one of the things and we work together. We work together. But when I started the GMB, I was starting alone. I told
Mhm.
her work muna sa Manila, and while I set up, para bang have a spare tire, no? And that's
Mhm.
one thing being an entrepreneur. Don't jump immediately na dalawa kayo because something that's a little bit risky. So after about 2 years, I realized na medyo dumadami na yung clients because word of mouth. I told her, are you ready now to come in? Because I cannot sustain. And isa pa yan, adaptation. Alam mo sa akin nung araw, hindi naman ako marunong mag-computer. Kasi syempre may mga assistant ka, may secretary ka, everything
Mhm.
dictation. Alam mo pala pagiging mataas, sometimes the lesser you become, you know everything. You don't know anything. I don't
Mhm.
know how to type. I don't know how to do computer. Nung ako na mag-isa, sabi ko, paano itong computer na ito? Mga computer ng araw, Rene, yun yung mga green screen. Okay, yung mga
Tama po, oo.
pipitik-pitik pang gano'n.
Mm.
Sabi ko, anito? Sabi ko, nagkamali ako mag-type. Kala ko kukunin ko yung snowflake, alam mo yung sa typewriter. Sabi ko, ay mali, hindi pala snowflake ang gagamitin. But you have to learn that something else. Age is not a factor for you not to learn. A lot of people kasi
Mhm.
will
Right.
say, ay matanda na ako, hindi ko na kaya yan. Hindi, ikaw mismo nagsasabing hindi kaya. So nevertheless, my wife and I are together in this. But one of the things we learned is we separate our functions. No, she's
Mhm.
more of the analytical, financial. Ako naman yung operations, marketing. When it
Right.
comes to giving seminars, if we need to be together, we need to. But most of the time, I'm the one. And especially before pandemic, I keep traveling and traveling.
Mhm.
Um, so ganun ang trabaho namin, no? Kasi and the same time, we made the rule. Pagdating sa bahay, no talk of no business talk. because I
Oh.
realized
Don't bring your work
we have
home.
we have only one child, one daughter, and of course she was going to school. It's only dinner time that na nagkakasama kami. So pagdating pa rin ng dinner, usap pa rin kami ng negosyo, siya naman tumatahimik. So and then I realized, oops, mali, 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 mali,
Mm.
mali. So sabi ko, ganito, pagpasok natin ng bahay, no business talk. Okay? Talk about family. Kung meron man tayong pag-aawayan sa opisina, doon tayo sa opisina mag-away, wag sa bahay. Okay? Nothing personal, di ba? Yung mga ganon, yung mga
Friends,
ganon.
friends tayo pag-uwi. Yan.
Oo, friends tayo pag-uwi, pero pagdating sa opisina, of course, you cannot avoid, no? Because
Mhm.
Right.
kung parating yes and yes, walang mangyayari, no? So, maganda yung questionnaire about having your family involved. It is so important. In fact, even this now, as early as now, I have 4 grandchildren, all boys, and my the first 2 grandkids are always watching me every time I'm in TV, every time I'm in YouTube. They're imitating me, how I talk, yung mga ganun. So, yun yung mga avid fans ko at least. Ganon.
Lolo idol pala to. Ayan.
So, what yung how did I market myself? I think isa sa mga adaptations na dapat I would like to share is that don't be fixated with what you specialize on. Kasi ako naman talaga, I was really specialized on food, no? Food expansion, restaurant expansion, starting. When I started my own business, though I'm into that, I realized I have to adapt to other like services, no? Like there was one time somebody asked me if I can help out a preschool. There was
Mhm.
one time if I can help out this company. I have to be open-minded. I think that's one lesson I'd like to share with you. You have to keep an open mind and don't be fixated na, specialize ko lang ho restaurant eh. Sorry ho, hindi ko kayo matutulungan. So, yun ang naging learning curve.
Mhm.
But you also have to have your core values, no? Kasi when you're an entrepreneur, you have to set your core values. Ano ba yung values mo? Kasi credibility yan eh.
Right.
Credibility is so important and you cannot build credibility overnight, and being transparent at that. And once people get to know who you are, it's not the number of clients that you have, but how people talk about you. So I always say I don't handle businesses that are probably against my principles. Alam mo naman yung mga patay-sindi diyan. Alam mo naman, and there is one chain asking me, they are willing to triple my professional fee. But sabi ko, sorry ho, kasi hindi ako pwede dyan kasi alam niyo yung mga negosyo nyo niyan, nakakatakot to. Pag ako yung nakita dyan, na lumabas-pasok dyan, mas-miso ako. Alam nyo na yan kung ano yun, no? Kung ano. So yun ang isang negosyong inayawan ko talaga. I mean, monetary-wise, wala akong problema eh. Kung pera lang naman yan eh, di ba? Pero imagine mo, makikita mo ako rin labas-pasok ako doon. Ay, si Sir, di ba? So, and then the
Sila
other
yung
one
kliyente,
is,
hindi ako.
hindi ko naman pwede lagay yung billboard, oy, may client ko ito. Di ba? And then the other one naman is, yung funeral parlor. No, hindi ako pwede yun. Hindi ako pwede kasi takot ako sa patay. Kasi when you're an entrepreneur like me, as a coach, as a business mentor, I walk through with the client eh. Imagine mo kung ikaw ay si Faith ay may
office
funeral
tour.
parlor. Di ba? Siyempre, pagdating sa morgue, ako rin nandun. Di ba? Medyo
Hands-on po yan.
hands-on yan. Di ba? Paano ka magkalalagay ng makeup? No? Himlayang makeup ba? Or eternal makeup? Yung mga ganon. So, I have to and I also have to pray whether the client is somebody I can work with. Kasi you know why? Because not all clients, sometimes you can see eye to eye. Because you have some gut feel. I don't know how yung kutob mo, yung ano bang purpose ng client na ito? Is this client going to propagate more goodness in terms of business, or is it only for himself or herself lang?
Mhm.
So you don't want na madawit din yung pangalan mo, no? So do sa client. So maganda. Enjoy ako. Sabi ko nga 31 years, but I feel like, we just started 2 years ago. And especially with this technology now, naku, nakaka-enjoy, yun ang ano doon. So ganun ang business, ganun ang negosyo ko.
Sir, what's now that you've mentioned about technology, no? Dati sabi niyo po word of mouth, parang before you have to, get the information out there, and medyo limited tayo kasi yung number of friends natin, yun lang talaga yung first nating mabibigyan ng information, and then they will share. Pero ngayon, now that you have this technology, we are enjoying this technology. How are you leveraging po on social media?
Social media, I cannot say I'm a beginner. I cannot say I'm an expert. But every day I'm learning a lot. Like yung mga SEO, yung mga algorithm, yung mga ganyan. Tapos, what are the keywords? Yung mga... And these are the things that I learned through my own, school of hard knocks. And I try to watch a lot of people, how they do it, how you talk in front of the camera, yung mga ganon, how you deliver, yung mga PowerPoint. Minsan kasi, nung araw, makikita mo yung PowerPoint ko, hindi mo mabasa kasi dikit, no? Yun, I have to learn that. And then even podcasting, yan, pinag-aralan ko rin yan, no? So, medyo ngayon nakaka-300 na rin na podcast ako. So, sa Spotify, sa sa Apple at lahat-lahat. Ako, I really enjoy digitalization now because it gives you a lot of room to be creative, no? I mean, kaya nga I tell people, kung sabihin nila, ang aking social media ay Facebook lang. Sabi ko, wag. Kasi yung market mo probably is Instagrammable. Ayan. Paano maglagay ng Instagrammable? Yan, ganito. But I don't profess to be expert. That's why I tell people I can patch you up with the expert in terms of digitalization. But I can do it myself, but it may not fit you. Ganon. So nakakatuwa because, I mean, even for example now, pag yung mga articles ko, I just submit it online and it gets published. And word of mouth, people get to... That's why when my phone rings or when an email pops up, para bang, oops, saan galing to? It's a word of mouth. It's something that they read my article, ganon. So it's fun, really fun. I don't call it like it's something heavy, but I'm sure there'll be more digitalization that will come. There more advancement, di ba?
Yes.
So, yun ang nangyayari.
Kasi diba, we didn't know naman na 10 years ago this will happen, diba? We didn't know na 10 years ago when we were using acetate, diba? We didn't know na we can have StreamYard, diba? Parang ganon. And I'm very glad, Sir Butz, na you are doing all this. Kasi nga parang, diba, if you're an entrepreneur, it's a constant learning talaga. You can never stop learning and you should never stop learning. Diba?
Yes.
Kasi kung hindi ka mag-aaral, kung mapag-iiwanan ka, paano ang negosyo mo? Diba?
At saka, how do you, you just don't post and post. Something that I watch a lot of people do. And I always take notes. No? I always have my journal, my diary, and I write there. Like, for example, you don't post a lot of things in your Facebook that is not relevant, diba? I mean, keep it personal, keep yourself private if you need to. Hindi yung kailangan mo, hoy, Rene, yung utang mo, bayaran mo, diba? Hoy, mga ganito.
Airing your dirty laundry, diba?
Don't air your dirty laundry. Doon ka naman doon sa laundromat na lang pumunta, diba? Yung mga ganon. Kasi remember, Facebook, social media, even the U.S. Embassy, when I was finalizing my visa, they asked for my social media. And this is something that is I asked why. And they just say, well, we just want to know who you are. And, if you are posting something of hate something like even HR, human resource. I've spoken to a lot of HR, and they always say, "What's your social media?" Because if you don't have a social media, they'll probably, raise their eyebrow
Something
and say, "Oh, come
shady.
on, nambobola ka kahit kanyang katanda ka na, dapat meron ka rin social media." Parang, is it a must? Diba? Parang gano'n. So, yun. And tsaka, there's really a lot of room to learn. A lot of webinars, a lot of e-books. Yan pa, isa pa yan. Entrepreneurs must not stop to read, at least even one
Right.
page. One page. And this is something I pick up from Mr. Tan Kachong, no, the owner, the founder of Jollibee, when he gave a talk years ago, and he was asked one question: "Do you read books?" Sabi niya, "Yes, I do, but I only read the book one page, and I try to implement what I can do with that book. And after I implement, then I start moving to another page." Kasi nga, yun ang isang feeling natin na pag nagbasa tayo ng libro, haba nito. Sa eskwela nga, nandadaya ako sa book summary ko eh. Hindi ba? Yung mga ganon. So yung mindset is so important, no? Yung magbabasa ka ng libro. Like, how do you use your time? Yan pa, isa pa ring factor yan eh. Kasi sa akin, time is of essence. I always tell people, we only have 24 hours. And if you don't sleep, a lot of things will happen to you. But you have to make use of your time, di ba? And also collaborate, I think that's something I always tell people. When people ask me, "Sir, can we do that?" Sabi ko, sige, what's in it? Let's do a win-win. Kasi sa akin, hindi naman pwedeng kabig lang ng kabig, no? Kasi that's not fair. Sometimes I lose something, okay lang, sige lang. Some people ask me to endorse them. Sure, no problem, but no politics. I stay away. That's one thing being an entrepreneur. I stay away from politics. I keep that as my private story, and I don't share that because mahirap na. A lot of people can can always misunderstand you. Ganon.
Ang daming na-offend.
Oo, lalo na kung
Unfriend.
naglagay ka ng kulay. Kung halimbawa si Rene, naglagay ng kulay sa kanyang frame, marami kang unfriendan sa'yo, di ba?
Oh.
So,
kabilang
ganon.
kampo ka pala. Ayan. Sir Butz, na-curious pala ako. Kunyari, kasi how does one become kunyari, a consultant? Is it something that can be done by anyone lang? Or is there a specific... Kasi once a consultant, wala naman siyang pinapasok like kunyari sa college, no, course for consultancy. So this is essentially, from my thinking, it's from experience. But how about you po, sir? What can you, or how can you tell our mga ka-entreps that are watching now, kung gusto nila kunyari maging consultant, what do they need to be or what do they have to do?
It's a good question. No university can ever teach you how to be a consultant. But the other side of the coin nga is that when you're a consultant, you're jobless. Yeah, I'm jobless because I have my own business. Yung mga ganon. But you know what? I never expected to be a consultant because it was plan B eh. Para bang sabi ko nga, expect the unexpected. That's my favorite line. Expect the unexpected. I meant to become because as a restaurant person, as somebody who set up, you know everything, but you're able to teach. One of the things when I started having my plan B, I have to look at what are my strengths, yung doing the SWOT, no? Strength, weakness, opportunities,
threats.
And I have to keep building that. Can I help somebody? Can I be patient enough to teach a person?
Right.
Because consultancy means you're able to put yourself in the shoes of the person and uplift that person up, no? Hindi yung, problema mo, o sige, problema mo rin yan. So that's it, hindi po yung ganun eh. You have to understand, you have to have empathy, no? So that when a person is not in a quandary as to what decision, but there are limitations as a consultant. You only can say and advise a person up to this point. Because at the end of it, being the owner, they have the right or prerogative to make the decision. Now, I always tell them beforehand that if and when they make a wrong decision and they did not follow me, it's okay, fine. Now you learn na hindi pala yun ang tamang daan. Okay? Now, I'm willing to pick you up. Ganun lang, ganun lang. You have to be patient. Sometimes pag ako naiinis, I have to isolate myself and really nanggigigil ako na, ano ba yan? Yung bang ganon. Yung bang, so kaming dalawa ng wife ko, minsan nag-uusap, sabi ko, ano ba itong kliyente ito? Tigas ang ulo. Sabi niya, relax, cool. You know, I mean, ganun lang. And I don't show, but sometimes I have to tell them, look, like for example, you have to be transparent. I tell my clients, if they're always late for meetings, I always tell them, look, I think you have a time management problem. I don't sugarcoat. And I think my clients appreciate that. Like for example, if the way they talk to their other people, I tell them exactly, oops, medyo hindi maganda yung pananalita mo, di ba? Yung ganon. Another thing is, for example, another thing is, ano po ba yung isang sinasabi ko parati sa kanila? Yung the way they present themselves, you know? Sabi ko, you know, you always have to be presentable, not as if you just woke up from bed, you know? You have to be presentable. So I don't sugarcoat things. And number two is I keep things a lot confidential. And I think that's what I have done through the years. People may know that I handled those clients, but I cannot share what I did with that client. Everything remains confidential. You know?
Right.
Mahirap. Because there are times when sasabihin sa'yo, hindi ba kliyente mo si ganito? I always say yes. Paano ginawa? Sorry, I can't. Oo, di ba? So,
Sir Butz.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Sir Butz, asking about, I would like to ask about naman, kasi di ba you've mentioned about your clients, ganyan. If somebody wants to start a business, kunwari, they're thinking whether to start a business from scratch or to franchise, ano pong ma-advise nyo sa kanila?
Well, the first thing that I ask is, kamusta yung negosyo mo? So, yung initial prognosis, no? Initial analysis yan. Ano ba yung negosyo mo? Ano ba yung... So, I always look at the foundation first, the groundwork. How deep is the foundation of the business? Because I always say, let's start. Okay, sige, gusto mo mag-franchise? Ito, franchise, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't. I don't give a hard sell. I always say, let's look at first an assessment of your business. Okay, number one, kunyari, matagal na pa yung negosyo mo. Number two, ano ba yung USP mo, unique selling proposition mo? Number three, sino bang involved sa negosyo na yan? And then, you know, so on and so forth. Until such time and say, okay, I think you have to more or less strengthen your foundation first before you go franchising. Because when you go into franchising, you add another layer into your company. And if your business is rather weak, let's say like personnel development, or probably the costings, kunyari, yung costings mo medyo tagilid, no? Hindi pa masyadong fine-tune, or your personal management is not very strong, okay, then medyo strengthen natin yon. So yun ang karamihan ng beses na ginagawa ko. Let's strengthen first the foundation before we add another foundation. So ganun ang pratikong sinasabi. Yung iba naman sabihin nila, sir, magsisimula pa lang ako eh. Okay, let's start with the beginning. Yung concept, parang conceptualization. So I do mentoring in terms of say, sige, mag-usap tayo, kunyari ako yung mirror. Okay? So I now sort of bring back questions. So ganun ang marami kasi ngayon na merong idea. But I always say the idea is good, but it needs nourishment. You need to fertilize the ground in order for it to grow. So ganun ang pratikong approach.
Right.
Kasi pag franchise na yan, kailangan reproducible siya eh. Kasi kailangan...
Tsaka dapat Pag franchise yan, that's another level na meron kang corporate responsibility. Okay?
Mhm.
Isa sa mga nilalagay ko parate, whether they're franchising or not, I always look at CSR, corporate social responsibility. Yung bang how they can help communities, how can they bring back to the community a favor that was given to them before. Para bang sharing lang, paying it forward. Because I always share na, alam mo, ang pagiging entrepreneur, hindi naman aksidente yan eh. I always think it's a God-given thing. It's something that you are given a talent and for you to share. Kaya nga, the more you share, the more you get, I mean, the more blessings you get, no? So, kunyari, ikaw marunong ka sa social media, share it. I mean, no secret about it, no? So, ganun lang 'yon. So, importante yung social responsibility. Ganon.
Right. Ayun.
Sa CSR, no?
Okay. So, sir, if naman kunwari, yung mga wala pang negosyo, say wala pa silang negosyo, but they are planning to, ano ang pwede nilang i-consider kung gusto nilang mag-start ng negosyo or kumuha na lang ng franchise? Anong
For the
ma-advise
other
mo po?
end naman.
Totoo 'yon. That's a good good question. Wala akong but ano bang meron akong perang naipon. I always say starting a business has a lot of ropes to learn, a lot of trial and error. But if you were to franchise, you probably have to undergo several questions that you have to ask yourself. For example, what is it that you are looking at? What is it that you're happy doing? What is it that you can be committed to? Okay?
Right.
Kunyari, social media nagpa-franchise, happy ba ako doon sa magtuturo sa akin ng franchise so that I can be propagating myself in different areas. May mga ganyan na eh. No? So, and also you have to investigate first before investing. So, IFBI. Like for example, find out the character of the owner or the franchisor. Kasi it's not the product eh. It is the relationship with the person. Can I get along with that franchisor? Do we share the same values? I mean, kasi kung hindi naman kami magkakakitaan ng ganyan at hindi kami
Hello. Kamusta na mga ka-Endrips? Looks like we just had a bit of a hiccup with our guest and our hosts. So, for now, I suppose we will proceed with our Entropedia. We are on our second Entropedia where we just, or rather, the first Entropedia tip where we just passed by, which was evaluate if your business is ready. So, this is the first Entropedia tip among three of the things to consider before franchising your business. So let us let's proceed to our second Entropedia tip, which is make key hires. second Entropedia tip, which is make key hires. So, as you prepare to become a franchisor, you'll usually need to add several staff members who will focus solely on helping franchisees. Diving into an endeavor like this will require a great deal of attention, and the increase in manpower will serve to assist in this. So remember that you will be expanding your business, essentially duplicating your home base or home branch to another location. And this new branch will then require its own set of trustworthy staff that must also aim to replicate or even improve on the level of quality service that your home branch provides. And that was our second Entropedia tip, make key hires. So let's move on to the second, or rather, my thoughts on the second Entropedia tip. Right. So regarding this, yeah, this is pretty much targeting people, or rather, we're talking about people here. So when you first started off with your business, before being a franchise, you pretty much had to select a few good people to run your business, just that home branch, that lone business that you have right now. You had to go select some good, reliable people to run your business along with you. So you had now that you're planning to expand your business from this area to another, basically spreading, yeah, branching out. That's what franchising is. You have to learn. You have to understand that what people that you have right now in your home branch don't exist in that new branch. You have to look for them. You have to understand that there are other people there that hopefully have the same level of skill and demeanor as what you have right now. So one thing you can do is to consider that you have to research the area, what kind of people there are, what kind of skills are available there, where you're going to find them, how are you going to be staffing that business. You have to do your due diligence and do the research, and believe that it'll never be 100% similar to how your original branch will run. It'll develop its own culture, its own set of rules, its own uniqueness in a way, but at the same time, it should also provide the same level of quality that your home branch should provide. So this is the kind of things that you have to consider when you are going to franchise your business. So you have to make sure that those people that you get are of the same mindset, willingness, and skill set. So it's a lot of things to consider. And those are my thoughts for the second Entropedia tip, make key hires. Now, while we're still on the topic, might as well move on to our third and final Entropedia tip, which is support franchises, or rather franchisees. So this is our third Entropedia tip, support franchisees. So as a franchisor, you'll have gone through a lot to reach this point already. But here, at the point where you begin supporting your franchisee network, is where a chain ultimately succeeds or fails. So your training programs and other support efforts will create quality control, making sure the brand provides a uniform experience no matter which unit customers visit. With the internet, this has increasingly come to mean providing ongoing online training modules for franchisees to use. So at the same time, you'll need to start marketing the growing chain to drive sales to franchisees. Many new franchisors underestimate how much this marketing and support effort will cost. So marketing encompasses everything from radio or print ads to uniforms, logos, flyers, and logo art on your company vans. Also, do take into consideration that all this marketing will require a lot of resources. So do take that into account. And that was our third and final Entropedia tip, support franchisees. So yeah, so this tip is understanding, or rather we're assuming here that you have already expanded your business. Your business has already expanded to different areas, got multiple branches here, there, and has good reach scattered across the country wherever you may operate. And each branch is self-established. You've got people, trustworthy people, all doing the same thing for their customers, their clients, their own set of customer base. And they're even self-supporting. They have their own culture. Beautiful. It's good, right? I mean, by definition, it does sound good. So do we just leave it at that? We shouldn't. So as the franchisor, or as the owner, the main owner of all these franchises, you have to support them nonetheless. Because as time progresses, things change. You never know what's going to happen in the future. One of your franchisees might not survive a change to the world. Like, for example, this pandemic. Some areas may be more affected than some, and it may require you to provide additional support to this specific franchisee and more attention. Rather, or you may have to pull out your people there. Otherwise, it may lead to bad. It may lead to bad happenings for your people, and you wouldn't want that on your brand. So there's a lot of unknown factors that you have to take into consideration, and these factors usually pop up once you support your franchisees, because these people, these branches, will provide you feedback on how their businesses are growing in that specific area, and they'll give you feedback for your business decision making. This is very important information that you need to acquire and take into consideration as your business keeps growing and growing and growing, as we make more franchise, as you expand your business even more across the country. So yeah, those are the kind of things you have to consider for our third EntrepRadio tip. Those are my thoughts for support franchisees, or rather the branches that you own as a franchisor. So those were our 3 things to consider before franchising your business for our EntrepRadio. So we hope you learned something today, and that these tips will help you become a better entrepreneur tomorrow. So I believe we can go back to our guests and our hosts. So I'll catch you guys later. Back to you guys.
EntrepRadio online.
You trust each other and you can always discuss a lot of things. Hindi yung ayoko kasi tulog pa yung franchisor eh. Ay, ayoko kasi yung franchisor sakitin. Mahirap yung ganun, mahirap. So for those who are looking for a franchise, I always say, but sir, kausap namin yung empleyado, mahusay yung empleyadong kausap. Sabi ko, oo, empleyado yun. Pero kung halimbawa, bukas mag-resign yung empleyado, patay ka, paano yun? Diba?
Sales
So, tsaka marami ngayon, don't talk about food only, talk about services. Ang dami ngayon, ang daming negosyo ngayon. Kung gusto mo rin ng funeral parlor, meron din. Marami rin.
Meron.
Oo. Ngayon, aabot ka pa sa November 1. Di ba? So, ganun.
Pero napakagandang point doon, Sir Butz, no? Yung pagpa-franchise, you have to be on a eye-to-eye level with the franchisor. We don't hear that a lot eh. Kasi pag sinabi mo franchising talaga, iniisip ko lang yung product, yung pangalan, laging ganun lang, parang ganung level lang palaging pinag-uusapan. But totoo nga, 'di ba? Parang now that you're talking about it, Sir Butz, parang you really have to be in a good relationship with the franchisor, no? That's a very good point.
Saka isa pang point siguro is ask for the names of the franchisees if ever they have. And for reference, tama yun rin eh, no? Na you can talk to them, you can ask them and say, how is it? Kamusta ito? Pero pag hindi binigay siya ng franchisor at pera muna, medyo lumipad ka ng malayong-malayo. Kasi mukhang pera yung franchisor, no? So, nakakatakot yun. Now, yung mga franchises naman, it's not a popularity game. There are franchises you cannot satisfy. I mean, para ba sinasabi natin, you cannot satisfy everybody, no? But the point is, how well do you perceive the franchisor in terms of supporting you? Kasi may mga franchise dyan, matapos tayo magpirmahan rin eh, hindi na kita makikita hanggang iti-terminate mo ko o kaya tapos na yung aking term. Yung bang mahirap tayo magkita, yung bang aasa mo na lang ako sa mga tao mo, para bang may concern ako, kausapin mo si ganito, kausapin mo si ganyan. Hindi naman pwede yon. Kasi ako yung investor mo. Ako yung partner mo. Di ba? At hindi mo ako empleyado. Yon, gano'n. So, may mga iba-iba kasi mga franchise ngayon. Yan ang sinasabi ko sa mga ibang tao, mag-ingat ho kayo kasi ang dami ko nakikita ngayon sa mga social media na buy one, take one, buy two, take one. O kaya bakas-bakas, yung
Cart.
patak-patak, no? Yung bang si Faith, si Rene, 5 tayo pero hindi tayo magkakakilala pero magkasama tayo sa isang franchise. Sabi ko, teka. Sino kausap ng franchisor dito? Ang dami yung co-investors. Sabi ko, I'm not in favor of that. I have to really analyze whether I accept that kind of arrangement. Because it's really a one-on-one relation Okay? Hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin na 10 tao nag-invest tapos sino yung kausap ng franchisor? Paano naman yung arrangement namin na tayong 10? Di ba? So, conservative ako pagdating dyan kasi pera yan And then, pag may mga pangako na sasabihin sa'yo, oy, Faith, alam mo, 6 months lang, bawi na pera mo. Nako, pag-aralan mo muna yung lugar mo. Pag-aralan mo yung sinabi niya. Kasi baka hindi yan totoo. Diba? So, mag-ingat. Maganda ang franchise, kaya nga, yung iba naman, medyo sinasabi sa akin, si Butz naman, conservative yan. Hindi naman niya alam kung anong ginagawa. But, I always keep tab of what's going on with the franchising. I try to analyze, even in the United States, ano ba yung trend. Another thing I'd like to share with you guys is that sa franchising, hindi tayo regulated. Okay? Hindi tayo regulated. Wala tayong law na batas dito. Sa Amerika, bago ka magsabing now franchising, ay si Faith dapat ay approved ng gobyerno na ikaw ay pumasa sa criteria ng Amerika. Kasi sa Amerika kasi, nag-umpisa yung mga fly-by-night, yung mga scam. Sa Pilipinas, wala pa tayo. Singapore, meron niyang may batas, no? Sa Malaysia, mahigpit lalo ang batas, no? So, hindi ka pwede basta-basta sasabihin mo, franchise ka. Kaya nga, yun ang sinasabi ko sa mga ibang Pilipino na gusto magpunta sa Amerika, madali kung susundin mo ang batas ng franchising. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, dapat magkonsulta ka, dapat alamin mo kung yan bang mga franchisors na yan ay katunay-tunay talaga. Yun ang ganon. So, yun ang dapat na pag-igihan nila. Kasi pera nila yan Hindi mo naman sabihin na okay lang yan. Wala yung 500,000 pesos ko. Wow, para bang pinaghirapan mo yan, no? Pera lang yan. Ako pag sinabi ang pera lang yan. Pera sasabihin ko, di ba nagdudugo puso mo, Dahil masakit, no? Siya sa totoo lang, oo. Hindi makatulog. Doon ako naawa. So, and then also, kung halimbawa magpa-partners kayo sa negosyo, parati kong sinasabi yan. Ang dami kong kaso dyan. Alam mo, hindi tayo matatapos ng oras kasi like may kausap ako minsan, mag-partners, no? Mag-jowa sila. Okay? So, ang una kong tanong, sasabihin ko, huwag kayong magagalit, Yes, sir. Sige lang. Alam niyo naman, transparent ako Okay, your boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Yeah. Yes, sir. Kailan kayo magpapakasal? Sir, kailan ba yun? Hindi naman. Hindi ko naman sinasabing pakasal kayo ngayon. Pero halimbawa, may negosyo kayo ngayon, di ba? Gusto niyong palakihin. Paano kung halimbawa, huwag naman humantong nagkaroon ng, alam mo naman, ng telenovela, naghiwalay kayo. Paano negosyo? Sir, madali ho yan. Negosyo lang ho yan. Di okay lang kami. Sabihin ko, come on. Emotions are harder to remove than having a business, di ba? So sabi ko, mag-usap kayo. Just in case na maghiwalay kayo, hindi natin maasahan yan, dapat meron kayong kasunduan. Di ba? Or, best of friends becoming best of enemies. Yan ang parati ko sinasabi. Kaya, pag may mga partners, nakikialam ako, or family members trying to become partners in the business, ang parati ko sinasabi, mag-usap muna tayong pamilya. Para sa ganon, as a mentor, I can guide you. Diba? Maganda na yung lumalaki na happy ang pamilya rather than konting kita, nagbabangalan na yung mga kapwa-kapatid, di ba? And I've seen that,
True.
Mother versus daughter, son versus father, bringing them to court. And it really pains me. Kasi nakakaawa kasi nung araw wala kayong pera, nagkaroon kayo ng konting pera, yumabang na lahat kayo. So, I feel responsible for that because that's the reason why I want to be clear whenever I handle family business. Ganon.
Totoo yan. Lalo na yung mga walang mga plano talaga ng family, diba? Pag family business, dapat meron kayong family plan for that.
Totoo yan. Tsaka constitution at lalo na kung may mga in-laws,
Yeah,
no?
family
Na involved.
constitution.
Kasi minsan yung in-laws nagiging outlaws, no? So, yan ang nangyayari.
Okay yan. Sir Butch, could you, kasi baka nga din na you have to do something pa, no? Alam natin your time is very important. So, maybe you have something that you'd like to share pa to our mga ka-entreps. Maybe you have some last advice for them para, words of wisdom. Yan.
Well, yung takeaways ko lang huwag kayong matakot. Kung meron kang idea, start writing it down. Always keep a small notebook handy with you. Don't rely on napkins kasi yung napkin malili pa rin yan. Find out exactly when you have an idea, try to dwell on the idea. Find out why the idea is there. Are you solving a solution? Are you providing a solution to a community? And who's your target market? Sino ba yung market mo? Kasi you cannot say lahat ng tao ay customers mo. You have to identify a market. And then also when you try to look at your business, growing the business, I always use the Pareto principle. I spend 20%, that will give you 80% result. No? Kasi sa akin, importante yan yan ang pagkakamali ko ng araw. I was trying to do 80% and I'm only producing 20% result. Hindi rin pala yun. And then also have that credibility, the transparency. When people talk about you, what are the good things that they say? Try to always be somebody that they can rely on. No? Huwag ka matakot. Ang pera kasi, minsan, sabi mo, wala akong pang negosyo, sir. Alam mo, ang pera, darating at darating yan. Pero ang credibility, mahirap yan i-build. No? So, nandyan na, marami na tayo ditong pwede magturo. Nandyan yung Entrep nitong programang ito. Kung manonood kayo, marami kayong matututunan. Ang dami niyong panahon ngayon. Maswerte ang mga taong gustong magnegosyo ngayon dahil maraming ways, lalong-lalo na with digitalization. No? Tsaka huwag kang mahiya. Be proud of what you are selling or what your service is. No matter what. Whether you're selling kakanin, you're selling a service, you're becoming a tutor, be proud of it. Be proud of it. And really stand tall. Pag tinanong ka, ano negosyo mo? Sabihin mo, eto negosyo ko. Huwag mo ilalagay yung lang. Okay? The word lang belittles you. And last but not least, don't forget your faith. Strengthen your faith. No? I mean, we are only but talents here on earth. No? But we always have to proclaim His word. Kasi nga, importante yan Hindi tayo Superman. We need His guidance. Okay? So no matter what you believe, always believe on the Creator that has built and made you. Yun lang. So, ganyan, mga ka-entreps. Relax lang, chill lang.
Napakaganda, Sir
sa
Butz.
sa EntrepRadio, sir, lagi kaming may faith dito. Kasi kung wala si faith, wala po yung show.
Pag walang faith, wala talagang pastrana. Di ba? Di ba? So, talagang mga ganyan yan. So, nakaka-enjoy, no? I mean, it's like a weekend that you talk to. It's something easy, no? Pagiging negosyo kasi you must enjoy Hindi yung, ay, Lunes na naman, ayoko nang pumasok. Ay, holiday sa Lunes, yes. Hindi Every day is a challenge. Di ba?
Right.
Ganun lang yan. Ganun lang. But always stay healthy. I mean, ang entrepreneur na uubo-ubo or sakitin, ako paano naman? Para kang kapitan na parati kang may sakit at hindi ka makaguide ng negosyo mo. Diba? So, ganun lang yan. Relax. Okay?
Chill.
Chill tayo, chill.
Oo. Sir Butz, how do people contact you or find you if they would want to engage you with, consultancy with their businesses, or if they want to start a business and they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so many ways. Alam mo, social media, I'm always there. Sabi nga na iba, kalat na kalat ka social media. Sabi ko, ha? Hindi naman eh. I'm just following a lot of people, like website. My website is gmb.ph.
Wow.
Hindi na golden morning yan towel, ha? gmb.ph. YouTube channel, you can watch my YouTube channel, Business Franchise Guru channel. If you're looking at Facebook, yeah, you can connect me. Sabihin nyo lang, nakinig kayo at nanood kayo sa EntrepRadio. Yan, di ba? Yan yung mga ganyan. No? So, ang dami. Sa podcast, yeah, you can look at Business Mentor on Spotify. Twitter, Instagram, yeah, yung mga ganon. So, I'm just around. Just feel free to contact. Kasi iba, sabi niya, ayokong kontakin kasi para raw stricto ako, mabagsik daw itsura ko. So, sorry ho, wala na akong magagawa sa mukha ko no? So, pero mabait ako sa tunay. Hindi naman sa tulog lang, no? But ako po ay approachable. Okay? So, marami kasi nahiya na, ay, mahirap ata i-approach or na-starstruck sila. Sabi ko, bakit? Hindi naman ako, artista. So, ganon. So,
Sir Butz, if I'm not mistaken, you have your own show as well, right?
Yeah, I have my own show.
Maybe you can tell everybody when and how do they see your show, watch you on your show, sir?
Dalawa yung show ko actually. In fact, si Maming Hapon, no less than my good friend, Pocholo Choi Gonzalez, De Leon Gonzalez. If i-feature namin yan. Guest ko yan mamaya. Sa Usapang Business, no? Ang kanyang title ay Boses Lang ang Puhunan. Alam mo, totoo naman yan, di ba? You don't have a voice. You cannot become an entrepreneur. Di ba? Tama yon. Kaya nga, ingatan niyo yung boses niyo. Voice master. Meron din ako tuwing every Monday, Fran Guru Exchange. Yan ay kaming dalawa ng aking misis. At nag-i-interview kami ng mga entrepreneurs na franchisors. Sa Lunes ay alas 6 ng hapon hanggang 6:30 sa aking Facebook page. Yan. So, dalawa lang ang akin. No? So, natutuwa na ako at meron akong show. At kahit ang aking mga apo lang ang nanonood, ay tuwan-tuwa na rin ako. So, yun.
Madami nanonood sa'yo, Sir Butz. Di ba may kumontact sa'yo from Google My Business? That's one of my team.
Of course.
I've met you through that meeting. Yeah, si Shell.
Shell Louie. Yeah, I know. That's why yesterday, the other day, sabi ko, kilala ko yan. Basta faith, meron yan tuturo. Di ba?
Actually, Sir Butz, si Shell, she was very excited kasi sabi niya, I got to contact Sir Butz and he replied, parang gano'n. Sobrang excited siya.
Sa akin naman kasi pag may nag-email, nagre-reply ako kasi alam mo mga email ngayon parang snail mail na, no, Rene? Kumbaga para bang, na-receive mo email ko? Sige, checking ko. Nakaka-isang buwan na ngayon lang check. Sabi ko, ay patay. Hindi na pala postage ngayon ng snail. Ngayon email. So, ganun pala ang
dumaan pa ng US
digitalization.
bago dumating, kaya 4 na linggo.
Oo nga, dumaan, no? Hindi naman nag-bounce, di ba? So, sabi ko, ano ba ngayon? How do I send? Send mo na lang by messenger. Wow. Ganun pala yun. So, yun. Kaya yan, yung mga ino-offer ng Google, yan, I'm always open to that. I'm trying to encourage a lot of people. Uy, mag-aral kayo, ganito. Ay, sir, matanda na kami. Ay, matanda ka sa kalabaw, wag na lang. Di wag na. Ganun. Di ba? So, yun mga ganun.
Sir Butz, thank you so much for your time. I know your time is very valuable. Kailangan talaga mag-set ng fixed time kay Sir Butz, no? So, we are so thankful that you have given us this time to be, listening to the words of wisdom that you have to share. And very inspirational talaga, Sir Butz.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to share. And also, a lot of people sana na nakatulong tayo, naka-inspire tayo.
Yan. So, sige po, Sir Butch, salamat po ng marami. And I'm sure yung mga ka-entreps natin na nanonood ngayon, no? Ang dami nila na pick up, ang dami nila natutunan. Kasi, yun na nga, di ba? Ang dami nating, kumbaga, life lessons that we can apply. It doesn't have to be hard. Yeah. So, yun po, Sir Butch. Thank you
Sige,
very much.
maraming
Thank you, sir.
salamat.
Enjoy
And
the
more,
rest of your Sunday.
yes, more power to you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Sige po, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
EntrepRadio Online.
Ayun. Ayan.
So,
Sobrang punong-puno yung interview natin kay Sir Butz, no, partner?
yes, definitely. No? Lalo na yung mga nagtataka or nag-iisip ba, ano bang gagawin ko? Magpa-franchise ba ako? Kukuha ba ako ng franchise? Lalong-lalo na kung mga bago pa lang, no? Hindi niyo pa alam. Tapos may pera kayo. Very informative talaga. Yun nga, as we mentioned earlier, no, the life lessons dito. Talagang marami tayong matututunan. So yun, medyo nagkaroon lang tayo ng konting technical difficulty kanina,
Yes.
pero tuloy pa rin tayo. Ganun talaga
naman
problema pag
I
live.
think normal naman yun, di ba? Parang it always happens. Ayan.
Shout out sa Globe, salamat sa internet na mabilis. Yan, okay.
Ayun, pero alam mo, ang dami natin pinag-usapan, pero siguro one thing that I would like to highlight and something that I really picked up, no, and I would like to emphasize for our ka-entreps is that, sabi ni Sir Butz, yung plan B yung nag-work for him, 'di ba? Ayan, nandiyan si Sir Butz. Maraming
nag-comment na
salamat
nga si
mga
Sir Butz.
ka-entrep. Oo.
Oo.
Sir Butz,
Sir
thank
Butz,
you po.
salamat po.
So yun, ang na-pick up ko talaga, and I would really want to emphasize this sa mga ka-entreps natin nanonood, whether they are starting or they're planning to start, alam mo yun, parang don't be afraid. Kasi parang, yun nga, parang you can fail once, you can fail twice, but it doesn't really matter how many times you fail. What matters is that you start to get up again. Alam mo yun, na
Right.
you try to do something else again, and you should always have a plan B. Diba? Ang sabi ni
Yan,
Sir Butz,
plan
plan
B
B
plus.
plus. Diba? So,
Exactly.
yung kung plan A mo hindi nag-work, it's okay. Diba? Don't dwell too much. I mean, you need time to process it, but I mean, you have to move on. Diba? You cannot stay down. You have to really get up and do something. Plan B, plan C, it doesn't matter as long as you get back up again.
Buti nga may plan B si Sir Butz, di ba? I mean, well, if plan A didn't work, the plan B, kung hindi pa rin, the plan C, di tuloy-tuloy lang. Alam niyo naman sa negosyo, sabi nga nila, di ba, it's high risk, high rewards, parang sa stock market pala, no? Pero yun na nga, the riskier it is, the more out of your comfort zone you are, no? Talagang dapat pag-aralan, dapat siguraduhin, and kung magkamali, natuto kayo na ano yung hindi dapat gagawin. Then, try na ibang way. Diba? Huwag natin ulit-ulitin yung pagkakamali kasi iba na po yan pag ginagawa nyo pa rin yung pagkakamali na yan.
Oo, yun nga, ang lagi kong naaalala sa pag pinag-uusapan natin itong mga plan A, plan B, if you make a mistake right now, di ba, parang it's always one step closer to doing the right thing, di ba? So I think that's the right perspective, how to look at it.
Parang the classic quote, diba? Try and try until you succeed.
Kasi yung iba ko narinig, try and try until you die.
Ito dapat
Ayan. Thank you so much, Sir Butz, for joining us this afternoon. And talagang ako totoo, I got a lot of, learnings from Sir Butz, and yung wisdom talaga, it's there.
Ayan. Congrats daw. Thank you, Sir Butz. Highly recommended itong program. Yan. So yung mga ka-entreps natin na baka hindi nyo po napanood yung buong interview with Sir Butz, no? This is Season 5, Episode 6, no? Panoorin nyo lang po ulit. It's on Facebook, EntrepRadio, and VG8 Radio. Kung wala kayong Facebook, YouTube, no? Sa EntrepMedia channel.
Ayun. Okay. So sa mga ka-entreps natin, partner, no, na lagi natin kasama every Sunday, thank you so much mga ka-entreps. Now we're on Season 5 and in the long run, Season 6, Season 7, sana kasama pa rin namin kayo mga ka-entreps.
Oo. And tuloy-tuloy tayo, lalo na ngayong mukhang bumababa na ang pandemic rates natin, ang mga mga declared cases. So I think maybe by next year mas mag-okay pa, no? Probably even after the election, sana hindi lang dahil election kaya bumababa yung rates, 'di ba? Yan po yung mga kinakatakutan ng mga tao ngayon. Pero it's looking like na as we are on alert level 2, it should be picking up na, no? Tumitindi na naman yung traffic. So yeah. Okay, so on to the show.
EntrepRadio Online.
Hey guys.
Ayan. So, hey Chase, welcome back. So ulitin po natin, no? Maraming salamat Sir Butz, Olivares, Bartolome, no? Talagang napakadami ng sharing natin. Dami natin natutunan ngayon. It's very interesting, lalong-lalo na yung mga nagko-consider na mag-franchise or if a franchise yung business nila.
Right. Sir Butz, thank you for sharing your Sunday afternoon with us. And hopefully, Sir Butz, we get to invite you again in the show. Ayan. And sa mga ka-entreps natin, kasama natin today, this afternoon, I don't know if it's gloomy or is it sunny ba in your place?
Medyo makulimlim. Kanina
Rainy?
Pero alam mo, nandito si Chase eh. So it has to be radiant.
Well, I
Radiant
appreciate
tayo, man.
I appreciate the compliment, guys. Thank you.
But, diba, whatever the weather is right now in your place, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And we hope that you got a lot and you took notes of everything that we have discussed during the show.
Mm-hmm. All right. Guess we'll see them next year. Well, next week.
I know, Chase.
I'm sorry.
Christmas break
we
natin,
have to thank Chase. We have to thank Chase. Sinalo niya tayo kanina, nagkaroon tayo ng difficulty.
Galing.
Yes. So
Yan ang
much.
radiant.
Yes. You're welcome, guys. Also, on top of thanking me, I would also like to thank our production team in the background. You guys in the back, thank you guys so much for working to keep this show going. Doesn't look like they're doing a lot, but they trust us. They are. It's a lot of help. Thank you.
Thank you nga, no? And of course, maraming salamat kay Sir Joy, the Voice Master Gonzales, no? Na walang sawang tumutulong, nag-inspire, nagmo-motivate sa ating mga kaboses, no? Mga voice artists sa Pilipinas. Sir Joy, thank you very much po.
Thank you, Sir Choi.
Thank you, sir.
And gusto rin natin i-invite yung mga ka-entreps natin na meron sariling mga negosyo na nahihirapan, lalong-lalo na ngayong pandemic. No? If you need inspiration, if you need a direction to head on to,
Yes.
just message us or yun na nga, no? You want to share din pala. Hindi lang may direction. Kailangan gusto nyo rin i-share sa ating mga ibang ka-entreps paano ba mag-survive ngayong pandemic. Lalong-lalo na yun na nga, no? Medyo picking up, medyo hindi. So, up and down, no? So, if you have, your challenges and your successes na dinaanan, lalong-lalo na ngayon, just send us a message po and we can have you on our show. No?
Right. And speaking of invitation, we are inviting you mga ka-entreps, if you are interested to become a voice artist, please consider to join the Certified Voice Artist Program. This is a series of online workshops created by the voice master himself, Pocholo de Leon Gonzalez lang naman. Diba? The one and only. Ayan. These online sessions are geared to bring out the best version of yourself and the voice in you.
That is right. Actually, CVAP started just yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm. That was
Yes,
day
batch
one.
one.
No? Ng batch
Yeah,
10.
day one.
Ay, batch
Yeah,
one.
so
Day one of batch 10.
Basta may one, okay na yun.
we're batch one. It's a little FYI. Also, we would like to remind everyone watching today that we have other business-centered shows. So we have our fellow kababayans from all over the world on Entrepreneur World every Thursday at 9 p.m. Hear the Philippine businesses from the rest of the world only on Entrepreneur World. That's every Thursday at 9 p.m. Also, we have a wealth of information, knowledge, and experiences only on Entrep Academy. And that is during every Friday at 7 p.m. School is in session, mga ka-entreps, every Friday at 7 p.m. Also, the duo of financial know-how. the talk of how money walks, check out moneytalk.ph, which will be airing every other Saturday at 6 p.m. That's Money Talk PH, Saturday at 6 p.m.
EntrepRadio Online.
Sa pamumuno ng isa sa pinakakilalang influential speaker sa buong Pilipinas, Pocholo, the Voice Master Gonzales, ma-inform at ma-inspire sa talakayan ng inyong mga ka-entrep sa online radio, kasama ang inyong lingkod, Rene the Envoys Toralba.
And your provider of entrepreneurial wisdom, your Mr. Entrepedia, Stephen Chase Lemon.
Yes, and the only rose among these handsome thorns, Faith, the Voz, Pastrana. Ito po ay hatid sa inyo ng Creative Voices Productions, Creative Vision Studio, Creative Sound Studio, VG8 Radio, Voice from Home at the Voice Master Channel. This is EntrepRadio Online, the voice,
The voice
of
of
Filipino,
Filipino entrepreneurs.
Thank you guys. See you next week. Parang nag-pause si Rene.
Well,
Bye guys.
bye guys. We'll be cutting out shortly, I know. Any second.